did, okay. So, Mr. Glisson, I do have your objection to referee's recommended order. I'm looking in my waiting room. I do not have Jessica Hammock. Is she in the courtroom? No.
She's not, Your Honor.
All right, so Mr. Glisson, you filed an objection and I have a notice of hearing and a certificate of mailing dated April 5th of 23. So you mailed a copy of this to Ms. Hammock at her address?
Correct, yes.
Right, and you have children together. Did she mention anything about receiving it?
No, she did not.
Okay, so.
Our communication isn't exactly on strong grounds right now, Your Honor.
Raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
All right, so, sir, can you explain to the court or recite why you wish to have this court grant your objection?
Well, it's fairly simple. My lawyer didn't show up.
Who is your lawyer?
Rodney J. Leon. He's been a family friend for a long time, represented my father, represented me in my father's estate. I knew he had been sick without, I don't know how much I'm allowed to divulge, but I knew he wasn't doing so well, but he still agreed to take the case. We met several times. We spoke about it as well, which are the attached text documents. The morning of the court date, we hopped into the Zoom and he wasn't in there. Our referee Garno asked who my lawyer was, gave me a few minutes to try and contact him. I was able to contact him. He seemed unaware that we had court that morning. Also told me he didn't file any appearances, didn't file any of my evidence, my witness list, any of the stuff. So I returned back into the Zoom, let referee Garno know about that. She effectively, in so many words, said she didn't believe me that I had an attorney, that she'd tried to call his office, he's no longer taking new clients, and we were going to proceed. So we went through. At around 10:30 or so, Jessica's attorney, Ms. Hammock's attorney, said he had to be in another courtroom. Referee Garno then stated that, well, we'll have to continue this at a later date. I'll give you guys a chance to make closing statements, and I'm going to issue an interim order because there were a few things, as frivolous as may be, that the claims that I wasn't bathing the children or taking them to school, which Garno said was going to be incorporated into the interim order, and then we would come back at a later date and issue our closing statements.
So basically the reason you want me to grant your objection is, one, your attorney failed to provide services to you as he was required.
Correct.
And you proceeded that day without an attorney, even though you had mentioned that.
Correct.
Okay, all right. And I do see where you guys were texting back and forth, but he wasn't following through with you.
Correct.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to grant your objection and send this back down to front of the court for continuation. All right. Okay, so we will refer this matter back down to front of the court for rehearing, and we'll send the order out, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor. If I could make one fairly odd request. I was having trouble getting mail because my middle name is Lee. The previous tenants to the property that I bought, their last name was Lee. So any piece of mail that's coming to my property, well, that's addressed to me with the middle name Lee on it, is not making its way to me until it makes a circle of half the post offices. And
so what I would say is go down in front of the court and ask if they can remove that Lee.
Okay.
And I don't have the authority over the postal service, so but maybe go down and see if they can omit the Lee on all your mailings.
Okay,
and we'll omit it on ours, okay?
All right, thank you so much.
All right, thank you. You have a good day, sir. Miss Adams, were you able to get a hold of the jail?
I sent the request and have not heard anything yet.
All right. In the matter of Kelsey Lanning versus Timothy Charles Sorensen, file number 21-48693. This is the date and time set for hearing on a request to terminate personal protection order. My waiting room. No one is here for this hearing, so I will dismiss the petition to terminate. Mr. Brooks, you want to come out? Want to come up to the podium? Let me let people in. Let me let Mr. Lewis in.
You'll have to go get that guy.
Okay, so this is in the matter of Lisa Weddles and James Nagy Paul versus Kenneth Lewis, file number 21-6794 CZ. I have Michael Brooks appearing on behalf of the plaintiff. This is a date and time scheduled for defendant's objection to the 7-day order. In his objection, Mr. Lewis states that Mr. Brooks submitted a proposed order via email on April 3rd, which is how I ordered that he do it. So after receiving the court transcripts for hearing that were held on March 10, he acknowledges that the language is correct except as to some language in sentence 3. Mr. Brooks, you ordered the transcript.
I did.
Yeah, good.
I also mailed directly.
Okay, good.
Mr. Lewis.
Yeah, I did receive it after that, yes.
Excellent. Thank you, Mr. Lewis. Okay, so we've reviewed the transcript as well. So Mr. Brooks, anything you wanted to add?
Well, following the objection, I amended my proposed order to reflect one of the comments that Mr. Lewis made, adding in that neither party shall direct any light fixtures on the other's home. The first proposed 7-day order I submitted didn't have that. The second one does. Now, I ordered the transcript. Of course, I read it. And after I read it, I drafted the document. And I believe my proposed order accurately reflects what you ordered that afternoon in this case.
Okay. So Mr. Lewis and Mr. Brooks, I appreciate that change was made. I will grant the objection, but my staff has redone the order, so we'll send that out this week. All right. Thank you both, and everybody have a good day.
You too,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Mr. Brooks.